Out of these 15 states, 4 states have already reduced or eliminated the requirements for residency. Hi there, Dr. Rajiv Iyer here from IMG Secrets. Previously, we have talked about the law in Tennessee through which IMGs like you do not have to repeat residency in the state of Tennessee but still get a full license. After this law was passed, there are 14 other states that have been thinking or already have passed the legislation so they can bring in international medical graduates like you into the USA without having to do the full residency. I'm going to share all these details with you so you can make use of this fantastic opportunity for you and your family. Let's do this together. The first state is Tennessee. In April 2023, Republican Governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee, passed a law saying that IMGs can just do 2 years of supervised training in the state of Tennessee and then get a full license so they can practice as an attending or consultant physician. Illinois is the next state. In September of 2023, the Democratic governor of Illinois passed a law where IMGs can work on a provincial or a training license with 2 years of supervision and then be eligible to get a full license. Now, the difference between Illinois and Tennessee is that in Illinois, the expectation is that you IMGs would be working in an underserved area, and that's not the case in the state of Tennessee. Does it make a difference? Probably not. If you're able to get your position, you can just take it. So the next question is, who is eligible for this? You must have completed your medical school or college from a place that is recognized by World Directory of Medical Schools. You need to have the usual sponsor note. If you're from a WFME accredited country, fantastic, but that is not a requirement. You must have ideally completed your USMLE Step 1, Step 2, OET, and you must have an ECFMG certificate. The next requirement is you must be eligible for a visa. Most IMGs for the most part are, but you must make sure you don't have any such red flags that will invalidate your visa. Of course, if you are a US citizen or you are a permanent resident with a green card, you should be fine. The next 2 states are Florida and Virginia. In both these states, the bill has been passed through the House and the Senate, and it is waiting for the governors to sign this. The state of Florida will let IMGs skip residency training in the US, assuming they have already completed an eligible training in their home country. Great, isn't it? In Virginia, IMGs can work in a hospital that has an accredited residency program. They would work with a provincial or a training license, and once they finish 2 years of working in that place, or what I would call most likely a supervised training, then they're eligible to get a full state license. The next 4 states I'm going to say are mostly focused on cutting down residency requirement and creating pathways where IMGs can start functioning in these states. This is Alabama, Colorado, Idaho, and Washington. Alabama passed an act called as the Physician Workforce Act. They say a physician is eligible to apply for a license after 2 years of training instead of the usual 3 years, which essentially means they're actually cutting down the requirements by 1 year. What did Colorado do? They have reduced the residency requirement from 3 years all the way down to 1 year. So they have significantly cut short the requirement of residency programs. Legislation targeting IMG licensing requirements is also ongoing in 6 other states. This is Arizona, Iowa, Massachusetts, Missouri, Nevada, and Vermont. Here is a disclaimer I might make. This is something that is still ongoing through the legislation. Any of these bills can change any time, and many of these bills may not also advance. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have these opportunities, you should just take it. Right now, being a physician in the US, I can say there is a huge workforce shortages, and this is the reason why all these legislations have been passed to ease the requirements. And this is when you IMGs have a fantastic opportunity to make use of Make hay while the sun shines. There is a saying in the US, being at the right place at the right time is all that's going to make a difference. And this is exactly what you should be exploring, that these states are offering to you IMGs. Just like anything else, there are pros and cons to each and every process. While this is a pro for many IMGs and many hospitals where they can bring in IMGs, bypassing residency, the question always remains, is this going to maintain the high quality of care that is provided in the US? Well, being an IMG myself, I have to say the training can be variable in many places. This is true for the US, Canada, or any other country for that matter. So the hospitals in the US must do due diligence in bringing these IMG into their workplaces. They have to make sure they hire the right type of candidate. And this is why we have been telling hospitals that we are willing to help them get the right candidate, because we have so many of you speaking to us, and this is where we bring in value. So it's always important to make the right choice, both from a candidate perspective where you're getting into the hospital, and from the hospital perspective when they're bringing in candidates. See, because ultimately we as doctors, we want to make sure our patients get the best possible care with the highest level of safety each and every day. And this is exactly where it's coming from. If you need our help in any of this, you can always book an appointment with us on our website, www.imgsecrets.com. And we will be happy to mentor you, coach you through all these steps and tell you how exactly to approach these processes, so ultimately you become successful with your journey in the USA. I do also have a video where I have left here where I have explained all the different options of how you can be a doctor in the USA. I encourage you to check this out. If you have any questions, you can always post in the comments below, and I also do a live session typically last Saturday of the month where you're welcome to join. Ask me any questions and I'll be glad to answer. Enjoy the nature, get some walk, take it easy, take care, stay safe. I'll talk to you soon.